Alright, so watercolors. Here are colors that we need. Got some black, brown, and this yellowy kind of cut like an ochre. Not sure. Here are the paints. I have a set of just basic liquid watercolors with brushes. I don't really like the liquids because, well, they're hard to get out of the tube for one, and they dry up after several years, which I just found out, so I'm cracking them open and getting little pieces. So, a rule of thumb here, don't mix up what you're drinking with your paint water. I've done that before. It was not pleasant. So we have our picture that we're painting here, and you'll want to have some kind of cover. I have just a piece of poster, like batting, with felt on it. You're really supposed to tape down your picture, but I don't have any masking tape with me, and I don't want to use regular tape because that will ruin the picture. So we're just gonna let it, you tape it down so it doesn't get wrinkly, but that's okay for this one because it's small, it's not exactly huge. And we'll just lay it flat later for it to crinkle out on its own. But we have a crested gecko for Amanda. Hopefully she likes it when it's done. So here's our picture that we're going to attempt to paint. And here's what we have. So you want to start with the background first. And I like to do layers. So I have it, you can see the colors slightly, come on, focus camera. There we go. The color is slightly more tinted than the white over here. But you'll want to do it slowly, or I do it slowly. You can go straight black if you want, but I like to take my time in my paintings so you get better, I guess not better quality, but it just, I'm not sure. Anyways, we'll be back in a second then after I do the background. Alright, so we have our background done, and please excuse my noisy neighbors, they are annoying. So it's incredibly hard to get detail done with this, but I tried to get as close as I could. What you usually would use is this Liquitex stuff, I believe it's called, and you don't want to use it on any good paintbrushes because it will totally ruin them. But you basically just outline your drawing and it protects it. It keeps the water off of it. Like crayon. It's like crayon. But it comes off easily once you're done. So what I put on the black, well, I like to do this with all my backgrounds, is you put salt on it, just regular salt, but the rock salt actually works better for this, but I don't have any. And then I'll show you once it's dry what it looks like. It's actually really cool. But here we have our black background. And I didn't want to go too dark because it's starting to get really warped. The paper is now. I didn't want it to get too bad, but since this isn't going to be an extremely, I don't know, I don't like to do extreme colors in my watercolors. I think it takes away from it actually being watercolor. So I just go with subtle, well, black's not really that subtle, but not super, super, super dark colors. Anyways, I'll be back. Alright, so I managed to scrape off all the salt, and this is the effect that comes out. Again, it works better with rock salt, but it's like a bubbly kind of effect. And then alcohol also makes a really cool effect. It's like water bubbles almost. But I already did this, I think it's a birch tree that it's sitting on. I'm not really sure. Looks like birch. So we're just gonna go into the details on the tree. And what you want to do is just get a little bit of black paint here. And you go really lightly. Let me see what I'm doing here. Over some details. And you just want to keep doing layers. Just keep layering. And then blotting, I think, makes a huge difference. So just like that, and you come up with little details like that. And you just keep going across where you've marked everything. Try to get it looking as tree-like as possible. And once I get that done, I will show you the end result. Alright, so finish the birch tree. I think it looks okay for now, but I mean, it's not really the best. I'm not good at plants. But as you can see, you just do layers, 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 layers. I cannot stress that enough in watercolor painting. You go from light to dark, so do the lightest colors first, then the darkest. Makes it much easier that way, as you don't have to go over with anything else. Plus, you can't really get light colors with watercolor unless you keep it white. Alright, so next is the gecko. I'll show you guys that layer by layer. Alright, and we're back with the final finished picture. Just remember to keep blotting everything with paper towels. That's what I use, is the best thing. Just layers, 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 layers. As you can see, in the focus camera, there we go. Lots of layers. Start with the lightest first, and then go darker. And watercolor is not a precise medium to use, so it's most likely you're gonna make mistakes, but that's what I think makes it all the more beautiful. It's not gonna be the best. I mean, unless you're like a pro, but I'm not, obviously. So just do the best you can with what you have. It really doesn't matter what kind of brand you have, how well of an artist you are, you know, you just have to do the best you can, and always keep an eye on what you're painting. Never try and draw without a picture, unless you are an excellent artist, but I'm not, obviously. So that's about it for this tutorial. Thanks for watching.